Alright, this is going to be the next part of the series where we're going to be working with some weapons. I'm going to use the free military weapon silver pack. So here, I'm going to keep it on the screen here for a second. You guys can get this for free. It's on the marketplace. Click on add to project. We'll be using the ZST tutorial that we've been using. Add it in. I already have it in there. I'm just going to click yes anyway. So we add that in. And this is going to be a basic tutorial on setting up your weapons. We'll get into some advanced stuff in a later tutorial with some advanced animation work, but this will get you started. So the first thing we do is we add it in our weapon pack. So I haven't really worked with this one much yet, so let's take a look and see what we get. Got a sniper rifle, grenade launcher, pistol, shotgun. Do we have a rifle? Yes, we do. Assault rifle. So I'll probably start with the assault rifle. There's two things you can do. What we can do is we can replace existing weapons or we can make new ones. We'll take you through both processes. First thing you're going to want to do is go to your HGT folder and search for data table or weapon info table. I just type in data, it'll bring it up. Open this up. And what I like to do is find a weapon that is similar to the one I'm going to be making. So I'm going to use the AK-47 because it's similar to, I guess, what I'm going to do. So what I do is down here inside the weapon table, you see there's a weapon BP, it's blue rifle. What I like to do is find that with a magnifying glass and then right click it, duplicate it, and I'm going to call this one M4 rifle BP. Then I'm going to open that up, open full blueprint, and then when I go to the viewport, this is what it looks like when we start making our weapons. So I'm going to take you through this real quick. So over here on the left you'll see our default scene route, and then our third person mesh. This is what we see in third person muzzle flash, first person mesh, so the gun mesh in first person, same as the muzzle flash. Aiming point here is basically when you aim down the sights, where you aim from and what you see. In this case it's looking through the scope. And then our first person left hand is right here, that adjusts in first person mode, that where the left hand is positioned on the gun itself. So to get started, what I like to do is select the third person mesh, and then I go to my new weapons folder, military weapon silver, and I'm going to select this assault rifle, the pink version, skeletal mesh, and I'm going to replace this one with that. So third person mesh, click on the little arrow, do the same thing for first person mesh, click on the little arrow. That puts our gun in place. And then what I like to do is grab this muzzle flash for third person and hold control and select the first person as well. Then I like to line this up with the barrel, so that looks okay. Probably not right on the money, but close enough to what we're doing. Then I like to get this lined up with the scope. So I will bring this up here. Might be close already. Let's take a look. That's pretty close. Not perfect, but it may work. I'll move it down a little bit. Right about there. Move it back. We can adjust this later. I'll show you how to do that. Then compile and save. And then inside of our weapon table, I'm going to select the AK because that's the one that's closest to the weapon I'm going to make, and I'm going to duplicate it. Duplicate this, and I'm going to call this one, rename M4A1. And then in this table, I'm going to call this M4A1 as well. And then weapon blueprint, I'm going to select the blueprint we just made, which is M4 rifle BP. So that's basically coming from here. And then click save. And then what I like to do is open up my skeleton from HGT folder. So inside HGT, search for UE4. and it'll bring up your skeleton right here. Open that up, and when you scroll down you'll see right hand socket. I think it's what we use for this. So in first person, that's where your gun is going to end up in the hand. It's going to be attached to this socket, FP rifle socket. So I'm going to duplicate that FP rifle socket right here. I'm going to copy this, copy selected sockets, select the right hand, right click and paste socket. And I'm going to call this one FP_M4. Then in the weapon table, I'm going to change this to that socket, FP_M4. And then the third person socket is right hand socket. So I'm going to find the right hand socket. I'm going to copy that, copy selected socket, and paste it in the right hand again. And the same thing, I'm going to call this one TP_M4. And then back to the weapon table, I'm going to change the socket name to TP_M4 because that's where I want to attach them to. Save that. Then I'm going to go back into my arena map over here, and I'm going to replace this one on the wall with my new weapon. So what I do there is I go back to my weapon table, and my gun is called M4A1 in the row name. So I select this gun, and the row name I'm going to type in M4A1. M4A1. Make sure it matches perfectly. Then I'm going to replace this weapon mesh with, I think it was Assault Rifle A. And that changes the image there. I'm going to make it cost $22. Just so I can pick it up real quick and save all. Then I'm going to start the game. And I'm going to run over and pick this up. Alright, so now we have our weapon in hand. And I'm going to switch to third person and take a look to see how it looks. It's not perfect, so let's adjust that. First thing I'm going to do is move this zombie out of the way because I don't want him to bug me while I'm trying to do this. And then I'm going to open up my skeleton right here. And I'll start with the third person mode. So our third person socket right here, third person M4. I'm going to have that open and ready to go. And I'm going to open this in the selected viewport like this. So I'm going to come over here, pick up my weapon, push V to switch modes. Then I push the Windows button and eject. And when I eject out, I position my camera by holding the right mouse click, WSAD, to get the position. And then I can adjust this while I'm in the game. So this socket here, I can adjust this forward and move it down a bit. And that looks okay. And the zombies are coming for me. So I'm going to start over again. I don't know how they got through the wall. There must be another spawner here somewhere. I don't know how they got through, but they did. So I'm going to play again. I'm going to grab that weapon. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm going to eject out again. Take a quick look. That looks good enough for this. And then I want to also check where my storage is. So if I put it on my back, it goes up there. If I want to make a new spot for this to adjust as well, I'll show you how to do that. So if I want to adjust that, what I do is I go into my weapon table, and there's a storage weapon socket right here. So I find my storage weapon socket right here. And where's that attached to? That's attached to spine 3. So I grab this, I copy it, then I find spine 3, it's up top, and then I paste it on there, and I scroll down again, and then I'll type in M4_stowed. And then I copy that name, and I go back to my data table and put in the new storage socket. Then when I go back into my game, I can come over and get this new rifle, and I can adjust where it's stored on his back with this new socket. So if I go to the M4 stowed and I adjust this over, I can store it here instead, or move it wherever I want. So I'm going to move it like this. Maybe I want to rotate it like that, or like this. Maybe I like it like that. Yeah, so that's a little better. So I'll keep it there, and that way you can adjust it. And that's all there is to it for the third person. So let's take a look at first person view. And we're back in the first person view. That looks pretty good, actually. That looks pretty good. So if I want to adjust this left hand, it doesn't look awfully bad. But I'm just going to take a look here and see. It doesn't look awfully bad. So if I want to adjust that left hand, all I have to do is open the weapon blueprint up, which is this one here, and then you'll see there's left hand IK, and you can adjust the left hand like this. So you can adjust this and move it wherever you want on the gun that makes the most sense. You just gotta play with it and get it right. They're gonna kill me, so I'm gonna start over one more time. I'm gonna grab that one more time. But you pretty much get the point. So I'll move this back here, move it up, and back. Get it over there. Yeah, right there is good enough. And that's all there is to that one. And I'm going to add another gun in while I'm here. Let's see what other guns we have. We have, let's see, weapons. Maybe the grenade launcher. I think there's a grenade launcher in this pack. I'm going to replace the grenade launcher in this one instead of making a new weapon. So what I do there is I find the grenade launcher, and I open up the laser rifle. You're probably still going to want to duplicate this, because if not, everything else that uses a laser rifle is going to be the new one. So I'm going to just duplicate the laser rifle. I'm going to call it grenade launcher BP. I'm going to open that up. And then in here, I am going to switch out the same way, third person mesh. Go down. Grenade launcher maybe? Grenade launcher A. That works. Click on the little magnifying glass. Do the same thing for first person mesh. And we got the new grenade launcher in there. Grab my muzzle flashes. Pull them in. Go down to the center. Close enough. Then put our aim sights where they should be. It's kind of in the way, but probably going to be up a bit. Right there. Move it back. Compile and save. Go back to our weapon table where it says grenade launcher and select the new blueprint, which is grenade launcher BP right here. Save that. Then I'm going to switch this one out for the grenade launcher. It's already a rocket launcher. I'm just going to type in grenade launcher. Change out the mesh to a grenade launcher A. And then I'm going to change the price to 222. I may need to change the sockets as well, but we'll take a look. That's not awfully bad, but it could be pushed forward. Looks pretty good. That looks okay. So let's see. You could even make this a bit bigger. So let's do this one as well the same way. We'll give it its own sockets. So back to the mannequin. It gets easy now because we've already made sockets already. So we'll take the first person M4, copy that, right hand, paste it here, and I'm going to call it FP_GL for grenade launcher. And then do the same thing with the third person one, TP_M4, copy that, on the right hand, paste it, and just going to call this one TP_GL for grenade launcher. Go in here and change these out. So first person _GL and third person _GL, and save it. And then when I go back into my game, grab this grenade launcher, go to my third person, eject out, get myself close to it. Then in third person GL, I can move this forward a bit, like that. And I probably would scale this up a little bit. So select scale or push R. And I could scale this gun up a little bit more to make it look a little bit better. Move it back. And you get the idea. So now we have a nice sized grenade launcher. I could probably move it down some. So we'll move that down a little bit. Eject out so I can see it. The zombies are going to attack me in a second here. Right there. That looks a lot better. And the first person is probably pretty close already. Yeah, that looks okay. We'll do a lot more work with first person later on, but for now that looks pretty good. That'll get you there. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the basics of adding a weapon in, creating a weapon, replacing a weapon, getting the sockets all set up there, and I'll see you on the next one.